What's going on, you guys? It is The Shit Show, episode 57. Good God, it's Monday, and we're doing open mic today. We're going to be doing open mics on Mondays and Thursdays. We're excited because tomorrow we have Prairie Banana and the founder of PTGC and UFO coming on. Going to be talking some alien tech, if you will, and then we have Fat Sammy coming on Wednesday. But with that being said, here in crypto and in Pulsechain land, mind you, I want to remind you that there was a thought process within a cosmic consciousness, if you will, months and months ago about a bidet scene. And we always like to give a little homage to Richard Hart and everything that he does. So before I pull up RipCity, I'm going to kick it off with the bidet scene.
Do you want to be a king? Do you want to be a queen? Sitting on the throne.
It's Richard Hart, rumored billionaire and bidet service technician. I'm here to install your bidet, sir.
It's the one and only Eagle Double G.
Here we go. Look at that technology right there. It's going to wash your butt, and your butt's going to be clean. Let's get to work. Woo! Ooh, doggy. Wow, this thing actually works great. Well, anyway, Richard Hart here, rumored to be a billionaire, installing a bidet for someone that I love. It seems to work just fine. It only cost $100, and well, I don't see any leaks. So, clean butts for everybody.
Do you want to be a king? Do you want to be a queen? Sitting on the throne.
What's up, RipCity? Pulse, I don't know if you're in the mill there or what have you, working, if you're able to talk, but good to have you on, buddy.
I am here. I am working, and yeah, what the origin story, right?
Well, and we're kind of we're going through, I know that we've had some private talks where we're going to start kind of like reintroducing a lot of the wisdom and insight of Richard's, clips, what have you, throughout the stream. And just take, 5 to 10 minutes to kind of like drop those pearls of wisdom for everyone to just kind of relish and understand. Just because he's not doing streams or sitting down and talking in the throne room for 8 hours doesn't mean that he wasn't dropping alpha back in the day. And I think that's one way that collectively we could continue to, pay our respects, show the conviction and where we stand and what we're doing. And, I think people kind of need to know that. I think there's a lot of people that aren't shaken out by what's been going on. I honestly don't always look because we're so busy with what we're doing, and that like, it's not going to change my mind on the direction that we're going either. So looks like he hit a rough patch at work. Just to let you guys know, we do have an open mic on Monday and Thursdays. The StreamYard link's here. If not, I can just kind of shoot the shit and talk about anything. I do know that the one cool thing about the Solid X game is it's getting closer, y'all. I would like to, obviously, while AJ's probably doing his thing, and he might be doing his thing the entire episode, if you will. Obviously, there's a great opportunity coming up where if you like games, if you like seeing Pulsechain potentially pump regards to like different digital assets that are like real world assets, if you will, getting plugged into the chain and just creating buy pressure. I think Pulsechain has the opportunity to attract the gaming industry, if you will. So go ahead and check this out, you guys. This one's pretty cool. Let's see here. Bam, where's it at? I will hit you with, I think this is it. No, that's not it. Come on now. Come on. There it is. So yeah, that buy and burn that's going to be created from that game on SolidX and so many things that it's connected to within the liquidity pools and what have you is going to be real exciting. And for those that like have connections and I don't know, maybe have a ton of degenerates out there that love to gamble online and what have you, there is a great opportunity, obviously, for you to get a referral link, get paid forever on that particular link, if you will. I have, excuse me, I have been told from the Firewell that he expects great things from this thing. I don't think they're stopping there, you guys. I think they're going to continue to develop and build and create other aspects that will, continue to build this ecosystem. And so this particular thing for SolidX, not only is it good for SolidX, and like I said, the liquidity pools, but it's good for Pulsechain as a whole. It allows the narrative to kind of be out there that it's just not one trick pony. It's not just Hex. It's not just the CD on the blockchain. You know what I mean? So I like seeing people build. I like seeing people develop. Let me just pause there. What's going on, chat? What's going on there, buddy? Julio. We got our boy KRJ up in the house. Thank you, brother. 10 Top, Rick G, Tam. What's good? Hex P&W, Smo Spider. Smo, you can hop in here if you want. I know you've been moving, but anyways, and today might be kind of a short day, you guys. We do have Prairie Banana coming on tomorrow with the founder of PTGC and UFO. And if you guys didn't know, we utilize some of that alien tech for Queen Pooie, which is out. We just haven't really been loud about it. And we're very thankful for that opportunity and that collaboration. And he's not going to say it was like a collaboration, but he basically put us in line with his people and help us kind of understand things in a deeper level, because he is the man when it comes to what he does. And we're excited for what that is as far as PTGC and UFO for Pulsechain, because I think it's going to bring eyeballs and attention to Pulsechain. But we think Queen 2 is going to also. Queen Pooie is helping recognize all the queens. And that's Tam, and that's Hex P&W, and that's Smo Spider, and all the other beautiful women in Hexaco. So I hope you guys had a great weekend. It's Monday. I do think that this could be, potentially, I think it could be kind of our last, I'm not saying the bottom's in, but I think it could be a good shakeout here. And I'm hoping for the turnaround. I should ask Mr. Chart Guy here, what do you think?
Well, Bitcoin just broke upwards, and the dominance is shifting. So I still say we're going to have something happen between now and the end of January. Waiting to see what the 15th is when the inauguration happens with Trump. So I think that'll be buy the rumor, sell the news. So that means everybody's buying Bitcoin right now, and we might see a sell-off on that day. Pretty typical.
I do think that by him actually getting into office, it does show some strength, hopefully, to both crypto and Wall Street as a whole. And, obviously he's going to say, I'm not trying to make it political on here, but he's going to put America first. And so I think you see a lot of people coming in, flying into Mar-a-Lago, kissing the ring. You see a lot of, CEOs from tech companies that you never would have thought would go fly in to kiss the ring. But I think they understand the balance of power has changed, and that people voted for change, and that they're kind of waking up to like, hey, enough with this media company just being like all in on one particular party just because it serves their interest.
Well, I think Bitcoin's going to come up for a double top at about 106, according to my charts, for a retest. That 106 level, 107, and then it'll get rejected from there. So,
and you think the dominance is going to come down, and which would indicate?
I think
no, maybe not. Just kind of a
February. When everybody starts getting their paychecks, everybody's going to start thinking, "Well, I don't have enough to buy a Bitcoin. It's 100." Like Sui, for example. That's where all the hype is right now. If you look at the chart, holy cow, the performance on Sui has just rocked everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Just destroyed it. So
yeah, it's interesting. I know that I was in some Twitter spaces, and a lot of the Twitter spaces that I was in were like these large Solana rooms, right? And I actually had a great conversation where that Miss Snowy that came on our YouTube show, she seems to know like a lot of people. And so when she hopped in there, she was like, "Hey, you got to have King Pooie come up here and talk about Pulsechain." I'm just saying, and they were inviting. I had great dialogue. They passed me the mic and I did my thing. But I think we're going to have them on the show, and I think the message needs to be like you were saying. Suey's just crushing right now. I think the message needs to be that there's a lot of opportunity, because I think with Richard's wisdom and patience, he's probably going to make it where Pulsechain is the shining city on the hill last.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to rotate looking for, that next opportunity. And I think that it's our time and our ability to get in with these communities and explain to them how to get into Pulsechain now. They may not come now, but they're going to want to know how to when it's the right time for them.
Yeah, I'm really keeping an eye on XRP. That's my the one I'm really concerned of, because if it starts breaking $1.47, $1.50, then it's going to break a year-long downtrend. And when XRP goes, it goes, it rips. So it tends to run on a 4-year cycle, but 2 months before the 4-year cycle happens. So they run on more of a 3-year, 10-month cycle. And when they do, they tend to take off and just completely destroy anybody else. Like we went from 60 cents and we shot all the way up to $2, and that's where we've been sitting. So that's where their pullback should have been. They should have shot up to $10 and then came back down to the $2 area. But they didn't get to do that in this last bull cycle because they were suppressed.
I was going to say, they kind of got bogged down with all that litigation stuff.
Yeah. Right now, they're still trading the traditional charts with the basic support and resistance. So it's pretty easy to follow. I don't know what's going on with Pulsechain. It's a bit crazy to actually look at all the money I've stuck into on the way up, just completely drained out within the course of a few days. But if you don't sell, you're fine. So that value is going to come back up, because once the alts start picking up, ultimately the money will flow in here regardless. So that's crazy.
Yeah, I believe so. Sometimes it's not healthy to potentially look at, what was, but it looks like you're not out driving right now.
Nope, I got the day off. And you know what? Today's a good day. I decided to start demoing my bathroom. So
okay,
do some upgrades. Fun.
You putting in tile, or are you putting in some flooring?
Yeah, just ripping down drywall and redoing, moving showers around, putting a bench seat in, all that fun stuff. So
nice.
So you're looking at things like SolidX. It does look like we're getting close to being at the bottom here. So there's not much more room to go. If we're still on an uptrend, we still technically are on an uptrend as long as we stay above that $11. So I would say that the end should be near.
Yeah, I think from what I'm hearing is their game should be pretty bullish for, that community as far as buy and burn, and just the activity that, they're going to put behind it as far as marketing efforts and getting the word out. And it is going to be launched on also, like, I forget for sure, I know Base, and my boy Randy actually thinks that that's where the game will get the most interaction is on Base, but the people won't even know that they're buying and burning SolidX.
What's interesting is Base doesn't have its own coin. They're relying on Ethereum to be able to utilize their stuff. It's very unusual to see that. Usually, like Crypto.com, they started out with the MCO coin, and then they finally ended up coming out with their own coin called CRO. So I wonder if Base has any plans to launch their own token here in the real future, because that's super early adoption if we are able to get in on that as well. There's one project that just converted over from Pulsechain to Base. And it's pretty quiet because I don't think a lot of people like him now that he pulled everything after he heard the Interpool news.
Right.
So it's pretty interesting to see. It's an EVM chain, so it's pretty easy to use the same contract and just fire it up on another, instead of relying on all these launchers to do the work. From a technical side, it's super easy just to migrate or blend on multiple chains. So what I haven't followed the Interpool thing. He was wanted and now he's still on the run, or is this like fake news and everybody's just kind of like running away from it?
From what I understand, I think it's actually like recycled news.
Yeah, I think so.
Like I think that it actually was like something that was on the radar like 2 months ago. I know AJ's doing his thing, but
that's exactly how rumors get started there, KRJ. Somebody just came in and heard that he's on the run.
Yeah, I just want to hear that. I want to squash it because obviously if it was that big of a deal, he should have been taken in already, or he wouldn't have put a stream up on Christmas. And
there's so many things that, hey, he's just letting that shit run.
Yeah, AJ thinks he was the one that created it.
You guys might be exposing him because think about it. He might be coming to see his mom here in Florida, trying to get out of town, huh?
Yeah, he probably has an aunt that needs a bidet, so he's probably flying into, his aunt's house to install a bidet because, God knows everyone needs clean butts. So
I got a bidet for Christmas. I haven't installed it yet. But
so did I. I haven't installed it. I think I'm going to return it because I don't have a power supply next to my toilet.
Ooh, you're going to have cold water.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Generator, bud. Just fire up a generator.
I'm going to have to make a song for that.
I'm going to have to buy a house.
Yeah. SJ installed a bidet for her mother, so that was kind of interesting. And the real interesting thing was, like, I don't always necessarily think that, like, Richard, I do think he keeps an eye on the community. Just because he's not streaming doesn't mean he isn't looking at what people do. I'm not saying he's looking at particularly what we're doing, but I know AJ, myself, he was one of whatever, we were like one of 1,000 that he was following. So I don't think he just followed anybody for anything. He obviously did some of his research on the individuals. And I think that just because he unfollowed people, maybe he doesn't stop seeing what these people are up to. I could be wrong.
Yeah. And I think that was mandated that he do that,
Guy, dude. If you think about it, he is in most of these Twitter feeds, most of these things like we've got right here. He's watching.
Where's his family?
How many members we've got in here? I bet you he's in here right now.
Just a fly on the wall.
It could be. I mean, the show was created for him. So, an homage to Richard Hart, the man, the myth, the legend, the reason that we're all here, and why we're so grateful for what's coming. Right? Freedom for all of us.
Right. So when does he clear his name? That's
the question.
Because that's literally the turnaround. I mean, there was so much value that was pulled out that it's not going to take much just to fire it back up.
Yeah, I mean, he was very clear that he's very safe and he's not afraid of anything. So, I mean, he's not going to be saying that kind of stuff if he doesn't know. I believe that if he doesn't know the end result already, he wouldn't be becoming more public. I mean, just having the fact that he came out and created a video for us, I mean, that says everything. He's coming. He's coming back. It's just a matter of, which day is it? And I think it's coming fast.
Yeah, and I think it's two separate things where you have the Interpol and then you have his case with the SEC. And I think the rumblings, the rumors are that the SEC stuff could be potentially something at the end of the month, which is, totally separate than, I guess, what Interpol's conducting, and who knows what the deal is with that. At the end of the day, I know he's fighting for DeFi and freedom, and at the end of the day, it's kind of liberating to know that, like, no matter what weapons they bring against you, he knows that you're not going to turn it off. Like he took the pin out of the grenade and he threw it.
We
So
should
here you go.
capitalize on that idea. Let's make some T-shirts and say Hex is back.
Hex is back.
Yeah, Richard's back.
Yeah, make CDs on the blockchain fun again. Yeah, and to that note, you know, I know I've been very reluctant, but I did make a lot of designs for Gelato yesterday, another, you know, protocol, and Yep Token. And I'm very, those guys know, I sent them the information to get their t-shirts, what have you, but I'm very close to releasing the crypto swag store, you guys. So it should be exciting. Aside from just clothing, I'm excited about the opportunities to network, because it opens up the opportunities for me to send referral links to people I know that are, you know, well known in the crypto industry. And so they can just, it's better than them having a Bybit link where people are going and getting chopped up in leverage plays. It's just crypto clothing. It's just cult clothing, you know?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Bring on the swag.
In a new shirt. I need some crypto gear.
It'd actually be cool to have the cult and have a Hex logo under it.
I like that, actually.
I just had thought about something else. The Hex conference. I know Randy, I don't remember which day he said he was going to be on, but he's going to be talking about Hex and the T-share and staking, and it should be a great refresher. But I love what he kind of thinks is, if you're not in Hex, you know, try and get 100 T-shares at least, and then keep the rest liquid. You know what I mean? He's got a great, I think he's going to be on 15 or 20 minutes. I want to say it's on Thursday, but I'm not 100% positive. But yeah, he'll be going over Hex, and that would be cool.
Yeah, and I think that you got to remember that Hex is RH's, Richard's baby. And I'm not saying that there's interaction or I mean, people support the things they like, right? I'll just say that much. And I wouldn't be surprised if we always think, oh, PulseX or Pulsechain or Inc. I guess I would say don't fade Hex, because I think that because it's his baby and he believes in it that much, and that there's a lot of core people that have definitely probably taken their profits and continue to deplete themselves throughout this bear market, that it's probably just going to be like God candles after, you know, at some point.
Well, isn't it the lowest volatility of all of the RH tokens?
As far as liquidity, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that will pump the hardest. And you can imagine that he wants, you know, that token to 10,000x again, right?
Right. Which seems ridiculous to think that, I'm not even going there, you guys, but it's ridiculous to think even like, I don't know, to me, it's just ridiculous to even think about 1,000x in a cycle on that thing. But hey, who am I to judge the you know, the gravity of what crypto can do at times? You know, obviously we feel the gravity when it's going down, but you know I've been in a situation where there's like things are going up like almost faster than I could comprehend. You know what I mean? And that was last cycle where it's just like, holy, I mean, you'd be checking your MetaMask and you'd be like, oh my gosh. It took a lot of determination not to exit your position at certain levels, because it's just like, good God, this thing's just ripping. And that kind of stuff's going to happen where Telegram chats are firing off on all cylinders and people are excited, and it's FOMO and you know, hopefully that we get bridges coming into Pulsechain, and so people understand how to get in. I do know that that's something that RipCity and I were talking about, not just for King and Queen Pooie, of making these videos of how to get into Pulsechain, but I think that we kind of wanted to make them for other tokens too, kind of like what we do with these introduction videos, like how to get into PTGC, you know, and like an explainer video, how to get, you know, into Teddy Bear, you know what I mean? And just like kind of show the steps and the progress of point A to point Z, you know, quick and easy explainer videos, well narrated, well video.
Get a little Scott Foster Harris in there doing some narration.
Right. Yeah. Because we know someone who is like a professional singer. So
Shout out to Scott.
Shout out to Scott. Have him come in. You know, we could have some other people partake in that. Obviously, you know, Cryptographics, who does the explainer videos for a lot of these tokens, actually. And
I like that small. I like that small.
yeah.
King 2, Queen 2. Hey, does anybody remember? It's been so long, right? When Richard was on, does anybody remember if he ever had a thought about where Pulsechain could go? Like how many X's?
I don't think he's ever had a price expectation because he was
right
with his words.
Yeah. I didn't know if there was like 100X or 1,000X, or if there was even was it built to do this? You know what I mean?
When someone asked him about what Ethereum's done, and obviously don't take it into context that he's talking about like this cycle, because if we understand,
sure,
Ethereum from the bottom to the top did a 14,000X.
Right.
And the question was, do you think Pulsechain could do that? And he was like, yeah, sure. But I don't think it was to be like, in this cycle, you can expect 14,000X. You know, when you're building a digital nation and it's new and it's finding its footing, you can expect that when you do the research, you actually see that the number, like the layer 1 averages is actually 450X. That's not bad.
What is from the very bottom, wherever it touched the bottom? What is 100X?
14,000X is 3 zeros and a 7.
No. No.
You got to remember, it started at 0, bud.
It started at 0.
I guess I don't remember that.
Well,
I mean, I was here at the beginning. There was no 0.
Well, it was for a split second, you know, or whatever. I don't know exactly what ratios and what.
I mean, do you count it from the bottom of 0?
No, I bet you he does.
Usually count it from the beginning of the first candle.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Because right now that's where we've been hitting and rocking. I've seen the same thing happen with XYO, and XYO did probably 10,000X.
Yeah.
On its token.
I mean,
all the way back down.
So what's a penny?
It's 1,000X. Wait, is it 1,000? I think it's 1,000.
Penny's going to be. There's too many coins for it to be a penny. At least.
Yeah.
Today's age. You know, in 5 years, 10 years from now, maybe it'd be different because of they're burning those tokens. So that supply is still gonna be there. But if you wanted to get to a penny, yeah, you're still crazy.
So we don't even need a penny. We need 3 zeros.
It would be 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
0 to a penny. Literally.
Well,
market cap would be astronomical, obviously, because we're already at 414 million.
Yeah, market cap's just a vanity metric.
Right.
Just because your particular token or ecosystem is worth more than the NASDAQ, don't worry.
Well, that number is going to change because the tokens are being burned. So I've found that out myself. But when they're being burned, they're not being
calculated.
Contract burned. They're going to the dead wallet. So we're going to see that market crap continue to grow, and it not be accurate. Not going to be accurate because you can't reflect. Good news is we've already got 3 massive hits on the downtrend from the beginning of time, from where Pulsechain started. So that last high that we just had, December, and a pullback, that was the last one. So once it breaks out here, it's all uptrend from there, all uptrend. Remember when Bitcoin broke its all-time high? It was this massive thing from 2017 all the way to 2019, and then it broke 2020, and then just it rocketed from there. So we've got 3 massive hits. The next one is going to make it sail. I would say by July, we should be back by SAC.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think that people kind of also forget, even though Richard always talked to people about not trading and not being a trader, and that obviously the people that, you know, earn the most are just hodlers and founders, and like, but make no mistake, the guy knows charts, and he probably, I think he did a pretty good job of being a trader. He'll tell you, I even called the top on the day. Maybe he created it. Who knows?
The Fibonacci is extremely accurate on this chart from the beginning of the time. So if you put the 0.25 on that last top we had, it makes a double top. I mean, it literally is right on cue, hitting the golden pocket, staying inside. It's just a very accurate chart. You could have predicted this.
Yeah.
So keep the fib on, and you should be able to see the magic happen if you're a TA guy. You know, the other one, there's a correlation between Sui and Deep Book. You know what Deep Book is?
No.
That is their liquidity that they utilize in the background. So it's all kind of locked. I don't quite understand how it works, but there's a huge correlation, kind of like Pulse and PulseX, where the Deep token is like the PulseX. It's the utility side of the actual trade, where the Sui is actually the gas token. And when you put on the ratio chart, when you look at the difference between Pulse and PulseX, you can see PulseX is actually gaining value against Pulse. So from the beginning of time, if you were holding 50% of Pulse and 50% of PulseX, you would actually have a higher value of PulseX today than you would of Pulse today from the beginning of time, because the value has shifted. And the same thing with Deep Book and Sui. So that's another very similar concept that they're between these two chains. I only bring up Sui because I'm in it and I find it very interesting, and I find it very, very undervalued. Just like Pulsechain is right now. Pulsechain, I think, is extremely undervalued right now.
Tell me.
XRP has done, which has been suppressed because of our great leader, and his FOMO, all the stuff that's happening is FUD, and the suppression with all the DEXs, the exchanges, the sexes. CEX. I want to point that out.
I know you gotta. It always gets me every time too.
So if I mean, it's nice that we're on like MEXC, but it can't be utilized in the United States. So it's, I mean, if this is where a lot of the money is and we don't have a direct path, you can't get there. However, on trade.kingpooie.com is where I go all the time to make my trades to go back and forth from chain to chain. So from an exchange directly into Pulsechain, if it's less than $1,000, you can input your money by using the cross-chain platform right on your site, trade.kingpooie.com. And then it says right there, cross-chain platform that uses something called Change Now. And I even have a video tutorial that I made right underneath of it. So if anybody wants to know how it works, it's super simple. If you have an exchange that's going to ask you what kind of token do you want to be able to send, you don't want to send Ethereum, you want to send either Solana on the Solana network or AVAX on the AVAX network, or best is just to send Solana. So if you're an exchange, you have all these different tokens. You just make a Solana token or a Sui token, and then in the tool, the first one is going to say what kind of token do you want to send on what chain. So you just say, I want to send Solana on the Solana chain, and I want to receive Pulsechain.
Right.
So you just put in how much you want to send. So one Solana, $200 some. And then the next screen will take you to, it'll say input your address that you want to send your Pulsechain to.
Boom.
And then the next screen will say, okay, we'll send the Sui or send the Solana to this wallet. So in your exchange, you're going to send your 1 Solana directly to that wallet that it shows you on the screen. And then it will do all the transitions, all the bridging, everything. And then you'll have the Pulsechain in your wallet. That simple. You have to go, like, the best way to do it, the highest liquidity is the main token to the main token. So if you want to go from Pulsechain to Sui, or if you want to go to Solana to Sui, or Sui to Pulsechain, you can do it all. There's many bridges out there, but this is Change Now seems to be the best one I found.
Yeah,
it does most all of them, but you can't go from your exchange directly to King Pooie.
Yeah, good question here. What's the he asked what's the fee?
The fee is, I think, 0.5%, I believe.
Yeah.
You'll have to check on that. But when I send 100 Sui from here to here, it doesn't cost nearly as much as it would cost to send Ethereum through the bridge, or to get just a gas transaction alone is way cheaper.
Yeah.
But again, the luxury of being able to send it cross chain like that is just amazing tool. And not a lot of people understand it. Maybe I need to make a better video. Maybe I need to make my own website that just has cross chain platform and it be Change Now, to make it easier to understand, because it's amazing.
I think we'll have to get together and make some more videos, explainer videos on just how to do it. And to that point, as far as what the percentage is, I'm pretty sure what you're saying too is Change Now. It's kind of open source, and that's just to let everyone know, this is not like the King Pooie and Queen Pooie group, shaving off any percentage. This is like they have an open source platform that you can utilize. Is that correct in saying that? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but you can use it right through your website. So your website, trade.kingpooie.com, is just a place where a bunch of trusted tools are. Right. So you're not actually using kingpooie.com to do the trade. You're using Change Now, but I've just made the link very easy for you to be able to find with all the instructions, is all it is.
Correct. Yeah.
So when you utilize them, they have a 24-hour customer service line. You can actually contact them right through the utility that's right there. So you don't need to contact King Pooie or any of that stuff. It's literally just right through that.
Hey, you don't find customer service that often in crypto. I'll tell you much of that, guys.
Well, we have 24/7 customer service, and I've called them a couple of times. I've asked questions. So I actually got with one of the representatives of Change Now.
Nice.
And I have my own affiliate link to be able to utilize that stuff. But they're very, very quick to be able to respond. And if you accidentally send it to the wrong chain, if it's retrievable, they'll retrieve it and send it right back. But that's all done through them 24/7. So that's as good as you utilizing a centralized exchange. So
can you give me a little bit of history on Sui? Because I just don't know, like, who's the founder, who's the community. I know you talk about them a lot, and I know that they're doing their thing, but what's kind of like their narrative, I guess?
They have something called a Sui Foundation.
Okay.
And they give out grants to people that apply, and they have good projects because they want to be able to bring people in. So they're giving like $100,000 to people as incentive to bring them in on the chain to be able to create. And it's more of a NFT collection type of thing, and it's more of a Japanese type of a lot of people from Japan are on that chain.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
So it's very much a cult, just like Pulsechain is. They've got their own groups, they've got their own big wigs. But if you come in there and you introduce something that's brand new, a lot of people are interested, but they want to see what's going on. So I have games that are being developed right now in the background. And since it's a big game chain, in January, quarter one of 2025, they have a handheld game console that's coming out that's blockchain based.
Nice.
So you would connect your wallet directly to this what do you call those little Nintendo Switch things? That's what it looks like.
Right.
And then when you connect your wallet directly to that, you'll be able to interact and get NFTs and everything that way. The one thing about that chain that's different is it's very secure. And they also do something that's very different with NFTs, which are dynamic.
Cool.
Which means that you can own an NFT and then you can put the hats on, or glasses, or T-shirts, or you can color them if you want to. So there's just not a static image. They're
Right.
expanding on what they're able to do, kind of like the 404s, right? 404 is a good idea because you can just sell the tokens, and you're not stuck with the actual money.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's the good thing about 404s is if you don't have a buyer for your NFTs, you're stuck with it. You know, so I'm watching people like SparkSwap when they did their 404s. Great idea. I love the project. You know, they have a lot of AMAs and they get their name out there, but wow, their token just is depleted. And is hard to look at, you know, as far as their price structure goes. So I'm not sure why they're having such a hard time with their price. But I really like SparkSwap. You know, that's one project that has NFTs and a swap tool and everything that looks like you can rock and roll. Somebody to partner with.
They got a good developer too.
Same way.
The developers, you know, he's a good dude as far as like I've heard him talk, you know, and you know, it's a situation where I know I believe like obviously has like a disability of some kind, and he just doesn't let that stop him from building and getting out there and networking and getting good people around him to help make these projects awesome. So shout out to him. I know that much.
Well, I know the one thing that's holding a lot of people back and scammers from getting on Sui is that they use a platform called Move.
Okay.
And it uses Rust, and it's very different version of coding.
Right.
And it's not as easy to manipulate. You can't put that kind of malicious code in there. It only allows certain stuff, which is really, really awesome. You don't have to worry about too many scams on that side. As far as like malicious stuff inside the actual contracts. So that's why I don't think a lot of people are migrating over there, because they can't manipulate the chain. They can't steal stuff. Though the one difference between Pulsechain or EVM chains and Sui is there's so many utilities here. There's so many things you can do here on Pulsechain you can't do anywhere else. And I don't know why that hasn't taken off yet, because it's Pulsechain, when you compare it to like AVAX, or when you compare it to even Solana itself, it's immaculate. If we just had the ability to on-ramp and off-ramp people properly, this chain would be off the hook. So it's not going to take much, man. I mean, you have everything sitting here, you know. And as far as when we do token launches, my next token launch, if I ever do another one on Pulsechain, I hope, will definitely, I'll have more control over the launch itself. As far as like the bots that come in and buy up all the tokens right away, you only limits the certain amount of tokens. And if the price gets too high, then you sell off on top of their heads until you get the price level to where it's at and stable, and then you add more. But you, as the owner of the project, have that ability to completely destroy the token back down to the price where it's supposed to be at launch, you know?
Right.
So that's a really good thing about launching tokens and having that kind of control. So I really have learned a lot being a part of Pulsechain community itself, and shout out to the people over in game theory, because they're the ones that convinced me to stick around and start building on here. So Maverick and Kinetic, those are really good guys over there.
Yeah, and to your point too about it's just not really well known amongst the blockchain that Pulsechain has all this utility and really this infrastructure that's being built. And that's if I were to say to anybody watching live or on the replay gang, is that's really bullish, because when they do show up and they're like, holy cow, like not only it's not just Hex, you have all this infrastructure, you almost have like this digital nation city that's in place, and it just hasn't sent yet. And yeah, you're right. There's a lot of bugs and bridges and things that need to be built. And I think to your point, as far as the change now in trade kingpooie.com, is just our ability to really get the word out on how to get into Pulsechain. And I think that we could, collaboratively put our efforts into making some of these awesome videos and voiceovers from people we know, to just kind of get eyeballs on different projects, not just King Pooie and Queen Pooie or Daddy Bear, but collaboratively shines light on other people, and we got the tools to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. The EVM chain makes it so easy for people to develop on. It would be interesting next bull cycle, when everything starts getting exciting, to actually sit down and teach people how to use these tools. Since I can write contracts now, I can. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I learned on my own and nobody taught me. ChatGPT was a big help, but it didn't do it all. So it took months and months to be able to understand what a smart contract was and how it functioned, and then what the vulnerabilities are, and then you have to have it audited and all this other stuff. So relaunches and everything else that you got to do. So it's a very, very stressful thing to learn. But if people were willing to teach other people from this chain how to build, we could be the base of everything. Think about it. If the people from GTC want to be able to teach some other people how to be able to build some stuff, and they're willing to come in on the project, and everybody's worried about money. Everybody's worried about getting paid here.
I know. Yeah.
I just want to make sure that whatever project I'm a part of is going to grow. And that's every single day I'm sitting here doing this. So most people are taking their vacations and they come into crypto just to be able to see how much money they made. But being a builder in the background, you can't do that, man. Just like you're sitting down here every single week, you're same time, same day. It's amazing that you have the show, and you allow multiple chains to come on here. So yeah. I think this is going to explode. Just keep up the good work, man.
Yeah, and to your point too, if people don't know, KRJ is self-taught in many ways, and obviously utilizes other tools to learn. But like, as far as like, it was kind of odd to me, when you build a project, and I'm not throwing stones at anyone, but you in particular, Smo Spider, Hexecutioner, kind of fell in line with what I was accustomed to, as far as like, I would see all these hexicans that would just like give of themselves, like putting on like these like events and yada yada, and just like working for free. And so it was just kind of like a curveball to me when I was like, oh, you mean like when you have something, you don't like work hard for it or try to like bring attention to it or build it to be better. It was kind of like so I guess what I'm trying to say is, shout out to you. You understand the ethos of, and don't get me wrong, I think people should definitely be valued in different ways. But sometimes when we're building this digital nation, there is a lot of sweat equity that needs to be put into it that maybe doesn't even get noticed. You know what I mean? And it's just something that I see a lot of people doing it. This guy right here in particular, Fats Abdul, he's always cooking, and same with Smo. Smo does her thing. She works with a lot of different people. She puts in work as far as helping them get eyeballs and attention on the things that they're doing. Crypto Coffee being one in particular. I know she helps him with some stuff. It's a collaborative effort for us to all make this thing great. And it's not always going to be at the hands of, hey, I just got a paycheck from this.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I've learned that you can't work with broke people, man. I didn't come here broke. I don't talk about my finances, but I tell you, I'm not I'm not broke. I come here. I love what I do. I want to continue to build. I want to create a name for myself. And it takes money to do that. So I've shelled out a lot of my own money and my own time to be able to be here. So if you're dealing with people that are just coming here to use your project as exit liquidity or as a paycheck, it's not going to work out well for them, because think about it. If somebody comes in here and they start getting paid from the project in December of 2024, January 2025, when we know this is the end of the 4-year cycle, we're about to go parabolic, every single penny should be going into your crypto at dollar cost averaging in, because we know that there's going to be a massive amount of money coming in. We all know that, as we expect that 4-year cycle. So this is not the time to be able to use your crypto for paying for your groceries or your rent, in my opinion. So that's where whatever you're getting should be coming in, should be locked up. I don't really believe in putting all my stuff into staking platforms, even though there's this high yield, and at any time one of those projects can go down. At any time there can be a centralized exchange go down. So hardware wallet, stick your stuff in, keep your stuff secure, and take 20% of whatever you got and put that into your staking platforms or whatever that you're utilizing it for. So you have to take care of this, because you're your own bank.
Yes, you are.
You in case something happens, but people that have been scammed already know in this world that when your money is gone, it's gone. It doesn't come back. There's nobody to help you out anymore. So stay safe. Richard is a very big advocate of telling you to keep your keys safe. Don't ever give anybody your keys, and don't click on links and stuff like that. So find trusted sources to be able to go to. That's one of the reasons why I made trade.kingpooie.com, because it's definitely a place to go to be able to see the bubble map, to see this, and I put everything on one page. Even if you wanted to chat about crypto and look at charts, there's a chat right on there for Discord. You don't need to have Discord to chat. You just go to the website and you can chat right there. So
yeah, and you're a Discord guy. You know, I know I've messed around with it a little bit, but I kind of have, you know, not messed around with it as much as you have by any means. So, yeah, things are gonna. What's up?
Yeah. You know what's good about Discord is they've got some tools that you can utilize that are very easy to use. Plus, there's games, there's stuff that you can do that you can't do here on Telegram. It's more of a gaming type of platform, to where we can start a live and then we can all watch YouTube videos together. We can start a live and we can all do games together. It's all built in, so it's super cool to be able to build a community or get people in there to be able to have get-togethers just to do stuff. So that's why I like it.
So, you got any fun stuff about Daddy Bear that's on Pulsechain? Any breakthroughs that you're working on?
All my focus is shifted over to Bloop the Beluga right now. So,
which is on Sui, right?
Yep, I just got my rigged character back from the artist. I had a rendition that I had created, but I had one professionally redesigned. So he talks, he smiles, he blinks his eyes. He's got everything that the King Pooie has. So now he's going to have to be facial rigged. So we're going to do some mocap with that. So we'll be coming on live stream doing animations with the actual characters. So that's the next thing I've got since I got my character back. We got the King Pooie that's got fully rigged as well.
Right.
That one is a massive rig as well. So I may have to have that re-rigged, but he's definitely a I'm going to be coming in, walking, talking. It's going to have a background like this behind me, and we'll be able to just have some fun with King Pooie. So hopefully,
yeah, AJ here always wanted King Pooie to kind of do that Conor McGregor swagger, you know, kind of the strut, if you will. That's like his vision. You know, I want to see King Pooie, you know, have such confidence and just like, you know, what Conor does, which is obviously he's had some humbling moments since his rise to fame, but nevertheless, I get it. I guess with that being said, you know, I do, while we're talking, I forgot to, and I did do while we're talking, I downloaded our PTGC and Prairie Banana video for tomorrow that's going to be coming on. Is there any kind of like closing statements? And I appreciate you coming on. We got to do this more often because you kind of bring this, this insight into some different things, not just other chains, but also just blockchain in general. And so I appreciate it. It's, and I think the viewers at home, thank you all that are watching live on the replay gang. You know, hey, follow KRJ. If you want to throw that in chat too, bud, anything that, you know, as far as like any avenue in which you would want them to kind of check you out, I think it's important to kind of follow this guy because he is committed to building and he has great integrity. And that's what it's all about. When you surround yourself with people that have, you know, great integrity, and they're building great things. Oh, is that the time to get off? Is it the ring?
No, it's probably my package. I have this game that I've got coming up for Sui. It's going to look like Super Nintendo, Super Mario from the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the open world concept where you can run around and explore. King Pooie is going to have the exact same code. It's just going to be reskinned. Okay. And that's going to have a castle. That's going to have all kinds of stuff going on with it. So, but the one thing we're going to need is a bunch of. I guess it is for me.
Yeah. Is it time to wrap it up? All right. With that being said, you know, when the door calls, sometimes you answer it. So that being said, I appreciate everyone hopping in here. I do want to showcase that video that AJRipCity showed before our outro out. Obviously today is open mic on Mondays. We do plan on doing open mics on Thursday. I'll go ahead and get it back to you and let you kind of finish your thought before I outro things out.
Oh, I was just going to say one thing. So if you're a founder and you've got a project and you have a logo, we're going to be bringing those logos and combining them all in the game, whether they're a rug project or not, where those are going to be the enemies. But I've already started to take a couple of logos, and that is the head of the actual character, and then they're going to be running around the game. So I need, if anybody wants me to create a 3D version of their logo, I've already got a handful of them, including the guys over at Coin Hub.
Right, yeah.
Very interesting.
I thought you were going to say Dang Gang, but
yeah.
Hey, you know, the shit show, I've thought about reaching out to a couple of those people because I don't, you know, I'll leave it at this. Like, I'm willing to talk with anybody if they're not scamming people. Like, if they got, like, if they're a little toxic or what have you, like, I can get past that. I've dealt with enough bad people that usually I can find common ground with just about anyone. But to that point, as far as logos, though, go, let's keep those collaborative channels between you and me open, because obviously I'm looking for every logo on the planet for what I'm doing with the swag. You know, it's like I want to have the largest database of logos and a library full to just make that catalog just the most robust digital, you know, catalog for buying crypto swag on planet Earth. So
yeah, and think about it. Once I have the 3D logo created from scratch, you can now do stuff with t-shirts. You can do stuff with augmented reality. You can do stuff with 3D printing. There's so much that you're able to do with those projects. So we could, because you have a store, whether it just be t-shirts or you can expand from there. Think about having, I mean, look at this. You can't go anywhere without an actual Dogecoin. This thing is freaking amazing. You have to have a Dogecoin
or a hex coin.
I got XYO. I got Ripple. I got a Bitcoin. I mean, you have to have these. They're physically in your hand, even though they're not worth anything. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Look at that beautiful case.
Yeah, this one actually might be worth something because it's silver, but nevertheless, it's not gold, but it is silver. 0.99. Yeah, but
imagine having, because I have a 3D printer and I've made some 3D prints of logos before, and people were willing to pay big money to be able to have those because they're unique. You can't get them anywhere else. It's made from scratch.
Yeah, look at that 3D printer.
That's what I'm talking about. Who made that for you?
I forget where I bought it from, but we'll definitely make something for King and Queen Pooie in regards to like this kind of stuff. And I get it. Not everybody's want to have a piece of poo with a crown on it, but obviously.
What are you kidding me? Everybody's gonna want one of those.
I know.
Gonna be the talk of the town.
Well,
it'll be a reward at the bottom. You'll put their little name on it to say that they've won.
Yeah. Well, when people start to understand that the kingdom is being built to have digital assets that plug into these tokens. So like when you think about King and Queen Pooie being like an index of the culture, the ability for these other digital assets to support the project and for it to be like real estate on the blockchain, that's when things get fun. And I like your point that you brought up about Sui having those NFTs that were kind of associated with the crypto clothing. Hey, let's, these are iterations of learning, and I would love to implement those kind of opportunities, if you will, for the things that we are doing. And I think the more you could kind of show that there's other things than just, well, I think the price is going to pump. Well, yeah. To me, it's like I sleep better at night knowing that potentially there's other value assets that are included into what it is, and it's not just like I heard this dog coin is going to be really cool. Elon Musk is talking about it. What does it do?
Well, if you when you go into the communities, you're not supposed to talk about any other project. Yeah. I'm wondering if you have this tie with all of these communities, if you can start incorporating your King Pooie, Queen Pooie in with theirs. For example, I can make the 3D characters and we can make them together like I did with the teddy bear. And they can start posting them together in their project as far as their own memes to start spreading the word. Because it's all about exposure. Who knows you? It's not about what you know; it's who you know. So I think we should start focusing on still combining these communities together, because that's what this is all about. I love this community.
Yeah. Yeah, man. If that's AJ, I don't know if you can hear us. If you want to pipe in real quick before we sign things off. No. AJ's working. He's a working man. Oftentimes you'll find him driving the truck on the show. And so many times when we were building out King Pooie, he'd be on the road. We'd be talking like the build. He'd be driving down the highway talking to us. A lot of people make sacrifices in other areas, and shout out to you, AJ, for doing just that. We appreciate it. Your contributions. Same with Jake, Vets, and also Randy there, Hilarski, with no permissions. But that being said, I will give it an outro. I appreciate everyone watching live or on the replay gang. Tomorrow we got Prairie Banana and the founder of PTGC and UFO. There's some tokenomics that have been, derived from those tokens that have been implemented into Queen Pooie. And so we're not going to obviously go hard on Queen Pooie tomorrow, because we're really going to give them the opportunity to kind of shine and just talk about what's going on, hopefully new developments, that kind of stuff, and just like chop it up with them. Because like you said, I think at the end of the day, your net worth is your network, and we want to network. And if we feel confident in where things are going for us, you know, I always hear like, oh, that economic energy, this. Hey, you know, I think that when you're confident in what you're doing, that you can shine in the midst of other people shining also.
Right.
So that being said, I appreciate everyone hopping in here. Here's that video from AJ, our boy RipCity out there working, putting in work with these videos also. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, Tuesday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah, it's your boy King Pooie coming at you. Richard Hart, the king of memes, Hex and Pulsechain. Pooie, let's get it. Yo, started with Hex, now we got Pulsechain. Richard Hart's the name, crypto's in his veins. From his mama's house where the magic began. Installed up a day, he's the royal handyman. Now every throne's a royal seat in the land of Pooie with the crypto elite meet. Billionaire by day, meme king by night. Richard Hart's got the future locked tight. It's the king of memes, yeah, he's the one. From the Hex to the pulse under the crypto sun. Bought dreams in a world so bright. In the land of Pooie where everything's right. Hoorah, let's scream it out loud for the king of memes. Make your mama proud. Hoorah, in the land of Pooie where the throne's royal and the crypto's groovy. RipCity Hex better the scene. Randy's got the vision, know what I mean? Crypto compassion, heart of gold in the land of Pooie. Watch the story unfold. From E4 to the Pulsechain wave. They paved the way, now crypto's saved. Each one a king in this meme paradise in the land of Pooie. It's the king of memes, yeah, he's the one. From the Hex to the pulse under the crypto sun. Bought dreams in a world so bright. In the land of Pooie where everything's right. Hoorah, let's scream it out loud for the king of memes. Make your mama proud.
AJ, you've been stepping up your game. Appreciate it. Everyone have a great day. Poorah.
Do you want to be a king? Do you want to be a queen? Sitting on the throne.
It's Richard Hart, rumored billionaire and bidet service technician. I'm here to install your bidet, sir.
It's the one and only Eagle Double G.
Here we go. Look at that technology right there. It's going to wash your butt, and your butt's going to be clean. Let's get to work. Woo! Ooh, doggy. Wow, this thing actually works great. Well, anyway, Richard Hart here, rumored to be a billionaire, installing a bidet for someone that I love. Seems to work just fine. It only cost $100, and well, I don't see any leaks. So, clean butts for everybody.
Do you want to be a king? Do you want to be a queen?